In this episode, I'm going to be making a very interesting and colorful concrete combination. It's going to be a white-based concrete. So I'm going to use a white Portland cement combined with a salt and pepper silica sand. So it's going to give me primarily a white concrete or mortar base here. But to that, I'm going to be adding two sections. One will be black latex paint or acrylic paint, and the other will be this plum purple color here. So it should make something pretty unique and pretty interesting. Let me tell you about what I've got going on here. So this is just a basic brick mold that I've thrown together, a piece of plywood with some 2x3s attached to it. And then I took some tuck tape and I outlined it there so it would give me a smoother surface to pour against versus the rough wood finish. Here I have a piece of 1-inch thick, high density, rigid foam insulation. And to that I added a layer of tuck tape and then a layer of polyethylene plastic pulled tight over top of that. It's not perfect, but it should give me a pretty smooth finish to pour against. So let's go ahead and pop that in here. All right, so there we've got that in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make up a mix of the white mortar that I was talking about, and we'll set that aside, and then we will work on the color portion of this, where we will be making a cement paste slurry, and then we will be adding acrylic or latex paints to this. And if you're wondering how does that work, is that okay for you to do for concrete? It's actually really common to use latex or acrylic as an admixture in all sorts of advanced concrete design. It's very beneficial for the concrete for a number of different reasons to do so. So when you have a latex or acrylic paint product, it is essentially the same thing, the same benefits, in addition to adding color to the mix. Okay, so we've got the mix made now. Let's go ahead and start working on the slurry, which we're going to use to add color to this concrete creation. So all I'm doing there is just mixing the white cement component with water to achieve what I'm going for is like a pancake batter like consistency. That's looking pretty good there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside, but first I'm going to steal just a little bit of this, a couple of scoops maybe, and that's what I'm going to make my color with. So all I've got is just a tiny, tiny little bit in the bottom there. And to that, I'm going to add some of this purple paint. I think we can do a little better, so I'm just going to put just a little bit more. Don't want to overdo it here. That should do. Set that one aside. Now one more, this one with the black in here. This is just black acrylic paint here. You'll notice as I mix in these colors here, we lose a lot of the original color, and it's because the white cement component kind of acts like a paint itself. So if you were to mix, white paint and black paint together, unsurprisingly, you'll get gray paint. And it's kind of the same thing here, same with the purple color. We lose a little bit of that vibrancy, but still very dark in coloration here, especially contrasting with, the white color that we're going to be using for the rest of this. Much like the purple one, I'm going to add just a bit more. And that's what I've ended up with. Okay, so from this point, I've got a white slurry, a black slurry or charcoal slurry, and a purple slurry. I'm going to paint these all in whichever pattern it is that your heart desires. I'll do the one that my heart desires. And then before these slurries dry, this is kind of the important thing. You have to work quickly, and that's why I've already made my mortar mix. Once I paint these slurries in, once I put all of the different slurries into here, you have to work quickly. You can't let it skin over. You're going to have a plane for delamination between the substrate layer and this top layer of color that you're adding, and you don't want that. You want the two well integrated and strong together, and it's achieved by just working quickly and adding everything together while it's all still in its liquid state. So, let's get started. Now that we've got it placed in the mold here, we should vibrate this to try to get rid of all the air that's currently trapped inside there. Look at all the air that raised to the surface there. That definitely will give us a much nicer looking finished quality here. Now we'll just set this aside for 24 to 48 hours, let it set up, and then we'll demold it and see what it looks like. And here we are back 24 hours later. I'm really excited to see this one because you don't often see purple concrete. It's not something I've seen a lot of, and I put a little bit of purple veining in there, and hopefully that should look really interesting, and we will see in just a moment. Let's go ahead and demold this. I absolutely love the color of this. What an interesting combination. Take a look at that. So interesting. Definitely going up on the wall of fame there. That is a fun and interesting concrete coloration option. I mean, there's so many. You can do absolutely anything. This was a white mortar with, you know, a charcoal mortar and a purple mortar combination. Really interesting stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video.